Hello, welcome back. This is a hips and hearts yoga flow. That means we're going to do lots of leg stuff, open up through your hips, a little bit of heart openers, back bends, and I promise you will feel better leaving your mat than when you stepped onto it. All right, all you need is your yoga mat. If you have blocks, grab them. If you don't, no worries. And we'll get started down on our backs. Finding a comfortable position, whether that's on your back or upright, whatever allows you to stay still for a few breaths. Closing your eyes once you find that comfortable position, starting to tune into your breath. On every inhale, can you feel your belly rise, your ribs open up, your chest lift? And on every exhale, feel your chest fall, your ribs fall, your belly fall. Do a few more breaths like that, really big on your back. Starting to feel that flow of energy come into not only your breath, but your full body. Your breath will be your anchor into this present moment for your time on your mat today. So anytime your mind starts to wander, I want you to come back to this big, energetic inhale and exhale. Let's do one more here down on our backs. Amazing. Start to zip your legs together. So bring inner thighs and big toes to touch. Reach the arms overhead. Take a big inhale. Get everything really, really long. On your exhale, find wind relieving on your right side. Right knee hugs in towards chest. Interlace your hands over your shin. Take a breath here. Think about energizing through your straight left leg. And then on your inhale, belly pushes up into thigh. On your exhale, thigh lowers as belly softens. Good. One more like that. Beautiful. Keep your right leg where it is. Point through your left toes. Float your left leg up to about a 45-degree angle. Stay down for an inhale. On your exhale, find an ab curl. Peel head, neck, and shoulders up off your mat. Bring your knee towards your nose. Maybe they touch. Hold. Maybe you reach your arms forward. Just take a breath. And then release. Hug both knees into your chest. Soften your head down. Good. Switch sides. Left leg, wind relieving. Left knee hugs in. Right leg reaches long. Take a breath here. And then really start to energize through your straight right leg. Find the movement of your belly breath. Inhale, belly pushes into thigh. Exhale, thigh pulls closer in. Good. One more breath like that. And then can you float your bottom leg? Find energy in it. Brace through your core. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, peel head, neck, and shoulders up. Maybe knee and nose touch, or they're just reaching towards each other. Maybe reach your arms forward. Hold for a breath. Good. Hug both knees into your chest. Amazing. Hands come behind your thighs. We'll rock up and down the spine a few times. Meet in a tabletop. So at the top of your roll, you can cross your ankles, plant your palms, come into a tabletop in the middle of your mat. Well, once you're here, I want you to find a neutral spine. So back is nice and flat. And then from there, take an inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts, find your cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, find your cat pose. Few more like that. Make this really dramatic, trying to find the range of motion in your spine. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale, cow, belly drops. Pull your chest in between your arms. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Beautiful. Come back to a neutral spine. All right, we're just gonna flip our fingertips to face your knees. Find a really gentle wrist and forearm stretch, hips and shoulders back. Maybe the heels of your hands lift up. Take a breath. Good, and then just switch. Palm slip to face your belly. Same thing, kind of lean back really gently here. Beautiful. And then sit all the way back onto your heels. You're gonna bring your hands to your low back. Pull your chest up, lift your gaze, take a big inhale. On your exhale, just come back to a long spine. One more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lengthen. Beautiful. We're gonna plant your palms, come into a supported plank, so shins down. You've got a pretty long line from crown of head to knees. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, we're gonna lower halfway into your chaturanga, nice and supported with the knees down. Exhale, press back up. Beautiful. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. This time we're gonna come all the way to the floor, still pause halfway. Inhale, pause. Exhale, come onto your belly. Beautiful, hands stay where they are. We're gonna find a baby cobra. Peel your shoulders back, lift your gaze. Maybe you float the hands. You're activating through the back line of your body. Take a breath in. On your exhale, lower down. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, lift up. Hold. Maybe inhale, float your palms. Good, and then exhale, come down. Last one, just like that. Holding at the top, floating your palms. We're gonna keep the chest lifted. Can you bring your fingertips on either side of your mat, elbows point towards the ceiling, and then push into your fingers, lift your chest even higher, maybe ribs, belly button peel off, gaze lifts. Exhale, roll yourself down, forehead touches mat. As you come up on an inhale, lift from your shoulders first, chin stays tucked, and then head lifts at the top. Exhale, come down. We're gonna do one more like that. Make this nice and dramatic in your spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Perfect. Plant your hands back underneath you. Knees wide. Take a quick child's pose. Round your spine out the other direction. Forehead can come down, and you can find a really gentle massage in between your eyebrows as you rock your head side to side. Amazing. Plant into your palms. Lift your hips. We'll find our first downward facing dog. Pause right here when you get here. If you'd like, you can pedal out through the heels, bend one knee and then the other. Or sometimes I love bending both knees and wagging an imaginary tail side to side, lengthen out through each side body. I want you to take a few more breaths there, exploring movement in your downward facing, whatever way feels right in this moment. And use this time to come back to your breath. That same energetic breath we had lying on our backs. You find a big inhale. And on your exhale, breaks through your core. Good, we'll do one more like that. Big breath. Perfect. Let's start to flow. On an inhale, you're gonna come forward, find your high plank, shoulders shift beyond wrists. Knees can come down if you'd like, but on your exhale, we chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, find your upward facing dog. Point your toes, pull your chest up, gaze lifts. Exhale, lift the hips, find your downward facing. Beautiful. Pause right here. On your next inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Hips stay nice and square. On your exhale, knee towards nose, just like we did on our back. See if you can touch. And then step your foot in between your hands, drop your back knee, find your low lunge. Arms sweep up to start. You can point the back toes, melt your hips down. We've got blocks here today, so if you do have them, anytime we're in any shape and we lift our arms up and you don't want to lift your arms up, your hands can stay on your blocks. They're like extensions of your limbs if the floor ever feels far away. But if you feel supported with your arms up here, I want you to reach your arms down beside you and then behind you. Interlace your fingers and then open through your heart. Lift your gaze. Keep melting the hips forward and down. You can think about knuckles drawing down the back thigh. Take a big breath in here. Amazing. Release your arms back to the ceiling. Hands come to heart. And we're gonna twist. Maybe you lift the hips up slightly if you're really low. Start to twist towards your front leg, so over to the right. And then maybe hinge, you can hook your elbow on your thigh. But keeping your back knee down means that this might feel a little crunchy and tight in your body, so you can definitely stay upright. Take a breath here. Amazing. Unwind your twist. Bring both hands on the inside of your right foot. Tuck your back toes. We're gonna come to Skandasana at the back of your mat. So lift your back knee, drop your left heel, start to walk to the very back of your mat. Left knee bends, right leg straightens. Hips come low, hands come to heart. If you're comfortable here, I want you to reach your left hand forward, right arm to the ceiling, gaze follows. Using the connection between your left arm and your left leg to open up through that inner thigh, through your hip. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands back down, walk yourself to the top of your mat. Step back foot forward, find a forward fold. And drop your head. Inhale, we halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, we fold. All right, heel toe your feet together, so big toes touch. And then start to sweep your arms forward and up, hips nice and low. Find your chair pose. Can you squeeze everything into your center line? Hips come a little lower. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold. Good, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step both feet back, find your high plank. Flow, inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. And exhale, downward. Pause in your downward facing. All right, we're gonna keep moving with that right leg. So inhale, right leg lifts towards the ceiling. We hold. Notice what your left ankle is up to. Here, we're gonna lift the left heel high. So inhale, left heel lifts, everything else gets higher. Exhale, that heel drops. You can bend your left knee. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Next, inhale, knee towards nose. Exhale, step the foot through. High lunge this time. Back knee stays lifted, arms overhead. Take a breath here. Good. We'll do the same thing. Interlace your hands behind you. Lift your gaze. You can glide your knuckles down your back thigh. Open up through your heart. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Good. Arms come back up overhead. Hands to heart. We're going to lean forward. Twist in your lunge here. You can stay upright again, or you can hook your elbow this time. If you are hooking your elbow on thigh, use that as leverage to push your left shoulder down and your right shoulder back. Yes, good. Take a breath here. We're gonna get really light on your back toes. Bring your gaze down. Take a big step forward with your left foot until you're in your twisted chair. Perfect. Once you're here, knees stay in the same line. You can bring your gaze back over to the right, maybe to the ceiling. Maybe you open your arms. Good. Take a big breath here. And then gaze comes down, come back to your regular chair. Both arms sweep forward and up. Hips come low. Amazing. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step the feet back, find your high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. And exhale, downward. Amazing. Take a breath back in your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, this time we ripple forward, find your high plank. Coming into your side plank, shift onto just the left hand. The right hand comes up to the ceiling. In any side plank, you can always bring your bottom leg down. Or if you'd like the option here, we're gonna lift your right leg up. Ooh. We're gonna take a big step forward with this right foot until you're in your lizard lunge. So the foot is really wide. Both hands can come on the inside of it. Beautiful. Think upward facing dog here. Chest pulls through, gaze lift. And then exhale, look to the floor. Find whatever version of your lizard lunge you'd like today. If you can come down onto your forearms, I invite you to come down onto them. But any option is amazing. You can bring your back knee down. You can turn this right foot, right knee out. Maybe reach for your back foot. Take a few breaths wherever you are. Really trying to release the weight of your hips towards the floor without bringing any negative tension to your joints. Come back to your big energetic breath, sending it anywhere in your body that feels really tight here. We got one more breath. All right, we're gonna meet in a forearm plank. So if your elbows are already down, I want you to try to lift your back knee if it was down, lift your right leg, send it back, find your forearm plank. But if you're on your hands, you can kind of do the same thing and then come down onto your elbows. All right, once you are in your forearm plank, hold. Can you find a little bit more space of upper body away from the mat? Notice if your face is really close to your hands, can you push your forearms down, get brighter, get lighter in your chest? And let that sensation ripple through the rest of your body. Nice and tight around the waist, we're gonna start to lift the hips up, coming into your dolphin, which is your downward facing dog with your elbows down. So start to tiptoe your feet in. When you do that, you can look towards your feet, hips nice and high, and then tiptoe your feet out back into your forearm plank. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So little tiptoes in, and little tiptoes out. The next time you come in, we hold in your dolphin. So keep your hips nice and high. If your head wants to touch the floor here, really try to press forearms down, get out of your shoulders, and find that space, all right? From here, we're gonna lift your right leg up. So you're in your three-legged dog again. Now we're just on the elbows. And we'll do those same heel raises. So inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, left heel lowers. Do that twice more. Every time you lift the heel up, think about shifting more weight into your forearms. Almost like you're gonna float up into your forearm stand. If that's in your practice, I invite you to float up into it, or you can do a few hops if you'd like. Just stay in control of your breath. All right, once you've done your last one, I want you to bring that right foot back down. Bend through the knees, press into your palms. See if you can lift both elbows at the same time. If you need to do one at a time, no problem. We'll meet back in your downward facing. All right, last thing on this same leg. Right leg's gonna lift, inhale. Open up your hip, bend the top knee. Perfect, you can stay right here, or if a wild thing is in your practice, you're gonna shift your weight just into your left hand, right toes tap beside your mat, hips nice and high, right arm reaches forward. Take a big breath in. Come back into your three-legged. If you came into wild thing, beautiful, and then knee back in towards nose. Step your foot through, we'll lift up warrior two, drop your back heel, windmill the arms up, bring your ponytail with you, land in your warrior two. Flip your front palm, dance it back, reverse warrior two. Good, breath in. And find extended side angle, so reach in the other direction, right forearm down, left arm up and over. You can look up to the ceiling. Good, take one breath here. And then bring your gaze down. Right hand's gonna come down in front of your mat. Find your half moon. This is a great time to use your blocks if you've got them, if you want them. And if you want to turn this into a little bit of a heart opener, bend through your back knee, your lifted leg. Find your left foot. Kick your foot into your hand. And open up through the chest. Good. No matter what option you're taking, think about reaching your head forward. Press firmly down into that right foot, and then lift up out of your right hip. Good. Steady breath will help balance feel a little easier. We've got one more breath. If you were holding your foot, gently release. Good. We're gonna take a big step back down with your left foot. Find your warrior two again. And then windmill your hands down, back into your three-legged right leg lifts. And then find your pigeon pose, right knee to the outside of right wrist. Good, let's take a breath upright. I really want you to think about square hips here. So right hip pulls back, left hip rolls forward. Take an inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, start to melt down towards your mat. You can stack your palms, rest your forehead on your palms. If that feels like the floor is far away, that's where your blocks come in. You can put it under your face on any height. I love resting my head on my block. Just feels like a nicer angle for my spine. Your blocks can also come in handy if your hips feel like they're far away from the floor or something squishier like a cushion. And bring it underneath your right seat. Have a little extra support here. The last thing you want is any negative tension in your front knee or front ankle. So just be really mindful of that. And then if you are nice and comfy on the floor, I invite you to do a little twist with me. It helps square off your hips. Your right arm reaches forward. You create this little space underneath it. Left arm strings under. Left ear, left shoulder, come on down, and then you can relax the right arm. Right away here, your left hip will roll down. And just square off your hips a little bit. If you want to make this even deeper and open up through your left hip more, I want you to reach your right arm back, maybe find your left foot. If your foot feels too far away today, you don't have to reach for it. Wherever you are, we have one more breath. If you twisted, unwind, come back to both hands, tuck your back toes. We're gonna swing this right leg back up into your three-legged, give it a little shake, and then come back down with that foot. Take an inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up, exhale back. Beautiful, pause in your downward facing. We'll take 3 big, slow breaths. Maybe close the eyes in your down dog. If you'd rather a child's pose, you can come to your child's pose. Breathe into all the space you've created in your body so far. And notice if it's getting a little easier to stay present in the moment. Use that to guide your practice as we come into the second side of that same flow. Because everything will sound the same, maybe look the same, but I want you to notice if it feels different. You can always do something different on side 2, because as much as we work towards a balanced body on our mat, our hips, our mobility, our strength is often quite different side to side naturally. So just listen to your body as we flow through side 2. On that note, on your next inhale, your left leg lifts, find your 3-legged dog on the other side. Exhale, knee towards nose, push the floor away. Step your foot in between, find your low lunge, back knee drops, arms reach up, melt low. All right, so noticing right away, this right hip flexor for me, so much tighter, this feels amazing, but I want you to make sure your low back is long. And then arms reach wide, interlace your hands the awkward way. So we always naturally go one way. Can you have the other pinky in front? It'll feel weird, it feels like you're holding someone else's hand. And then once you're there, draw your knuckles down your back thigh, lift your gaze, keep pressing your hips forward. Take an inhale, release your arms, exhale. Good, hands to heart. Start to rotate to your left. Maybe you come up a little bit out of the hips. You can definitely stay upright. If you want to hook down here, go for it. Take a breath. Amazing, unwind. Hands come on the inside of your left foot. Tuck your right toes, start to walk yourself to the very back of your mat. Find your Skandasana, your surfer's lunge. Hips come low, hands to heart to start. And then if you're comfy down here, right hand low, left hand high. Really thinking about opening up through the inner thighs here, finding your external rotation in your hips. Take a big breath in. Exhale, walk yourself back to the top of your mat. Find a forward fold, back foot steps forward, toes touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Drop your head completely. And then find your chair pose. Inhale, arms sweep forward and up. Bum melts low. Good, hold for a breath. And then fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, find your high plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Amazing, take a breath. And inhale, left leg lift. Exhale, knee to nose, see if you can touch. Place the foot down, find your high lunge, arms sweep forward and up. Hips melt low. Good, arms sweep down. Again, interlace your hands the awkward way. Lift your gaze. Draw your knuckles down your thigh. Take a breath. Good, release your hands up. And then hands to heart, hinge forward. Turn to your left, find your twist, hook your elbow, roll your left shoulder back. Take a breath here. Use the leverage of your elbow and your hands to roll left shoulder further. And then bring your gaze down. Take a big step forward, find your twisted chair, adjust as you need, and then maybe open the arms. Beautiful, take a big breath and look up. Exhale, unwind the arms, stay in your chair. Good, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back. Inhale in your high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up, and exhale back. Beautiful, take a breath here. Inhale, we're gonna ripple forward into, inhale, lift your left leg, hold. On your next inhale, lift your right heel up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful, come back into your plank, shift forward. And then find your side plank, right hand stays down, left hand lifts. Modify as you need. Maybe you lift your left leg up. Good, and then take a big step forward, find your lizard lunge. So nice and wide with that foot. Hands come on the inside of your foot. Inhale, chest pulls through, gaze lift, think up dog. And then exhale, melt into any version you want. You can point the back toes, you can come to elbows. But please be mindful of just autopilot going into whatever version you did on side 1. This hip might be different, okay? So just listen to it. Our body normally gives us these signals when things don't feel right. That's why we use our breath to stay present in the moment, so we don't miss those signals, we don't injure ourselves or do anything that we're really not in the mood for that day. All right, so settle into your version of your lizard lunge where you can kind of just let the hips melt for a few more breaths. Good, one more inhale here. If your elbows are down with me, we're coming right back into our forearm plank. If you're on your hands, you can come back to a regular plank and then down onto your forearms. So we'll all lift the back knee, send your left leg long, meet in your forearm plank. Good, find that energy pushing away from the floor. We'll do those 3 tiptoes in. So inhale, tiptoe, hips come nice and high. Exhale, come on back. All right, keep going in and out like that. Find your waistband and think about that lifting to the ceiling. Like someone's got a rope across your waist, really, really activating through your lower abdominals, lifting the weight of your hips from there. Good, the next time you come up, we pause, float your left leg back up. So you're basically in your 3-legged dog again, but this time you're on your elbows. And we'll do those same lifts and lowers. So on your inhale, lift right heel, more weight shifts into your forearms, exhale, lower down. You should feel that shift of weight. If you want to float up into a forearm stand, go for it. And then we'll all meet back in your regular downward facing. So left foot comes down, press into both hands, lift your elbows, pause. Good, when you're ready, left leg lifts again, inhale, exhale, bend the top knee, open the top hip. Stay here or come into your wild thing. That's when your toe comes down beside you, hips up, left arm forward, take a breath. Good, come back into your 3-legged. And then knee towards nose. Find your warrior 2, drop your back heel, windmill yourself up, melt into your front knee. Beautiful, flip your front palm, dance it back, inhale. Stay for your exhale. Extended side angle, reach forward, forearm down, right arm sweeps down and up. Pause here, lots of length in the right side body. Good, take a breath. Then bring your gaze down, start to find your half moon. Left hand down to the floor or a block. Right side lifts up. Good, so before you decide to grab your foot, really try to think shoulders and hips stacked. You're lengthening through the upper body. And if you are reaching for that foot, you can start to bend the knee, find the foot or ankle. Once you've got a hold of it, try not to make it that soft. Can you actively push your foot into your hand? Use that to open up through your right shoulder. Good, take a breath. Release, come back into your warrior 2. Take a breath. Windmill your arms down, back into your 3-legged dog. And then find your pigeon, left knee to the outside of left wrist. Find those square hips upright. Again, be nice to yourself. This hip might not feel as comfy as side one. So adjust and stay upright, or you can start to come down. Modifying as you need, paying special attention to this front knee. If it talks to you a lot, sometimes my pigeon on my left side is just not my friend, and I love doing a seated figure 4 instead. All right, so please listen to your body. Be nice to yourself. Set yourself up with props. And then just melt into your mat with your breath. All right, if you were comfy down at the bottom, you can find that twist. So right here, you're gonna reach your left arm forward. Right arm is gonna string underneath. Right ear, right shoulder, come down to your mat. Take a few breaths there. All right, if you twisted, I want you to unwind. Bring your hands back underneath you. Tuck your back toes. Send your left leg back to your 3-legged. Give it a little shake. Beautiful. Put that foot down. Inhale, find your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Good. Pause for 3 breaths. Again, in your downward facing or in your child's pose. Have some water if you'd like. Settle back into your breath. After your last breath, if you're still in your downward facing, can you start to lower your hips down? Find your child's pose. Forehead comes down. Take 1 breath here. Good. We'll start to roll up onto our shins. Keep your spine rounded, chin tucked until you're seated on your shins. And then lift your bum off your heels. Come into your camel pose. Hands come to low back. Gently press the hips forward. Lift the gaze. If you'd like, you can interlace your hands again. We've done it a bunch today. If you want to reach for your heels, you can tuck your toes. It'll bring the feet a little closer. Or maybe you bring one block beside either leg. Reach your hands back onto them. We'll take a few breaths here. So experiment with what version you'd like. And then take 2 more deep breaths. All right, before we come up, brace through your core. Find that core strength. Lift yourself up. Good. Sit yourself down. Interlace your hands away from you. Tuck your chin, round your spine. Good. Take a breath here. And then roll on up. We're going to come into a puppy pose. If you've got your blocks, you can do what I'm going to do. Elbows on blocks, hands to the back of the head. If you don't have your blocks, it'll look like this. Hands down, hips are going to stack over your knees. Chin or forehead comes to your mat. If you want to do it with your blocks with me, just gives you a little extra height. Maybe if it feels uncomfortable to bring your chin down, this might feel better. Elbows are going to come to your blocks. Your head has some more space to hang out, and then your hands can come to the back of your neck. Feels so nice for the shoulders here to open up. Once you arrive in whatever version of your puppy you'd like to do today, I want you to take 3 slow breaths. We're really trying to open up through the heart. Good. If you were on your blocks, gently straighten the arms, start to wiggle yourself up nice and carefully. All right, get rid of your blocks if you had them. One more thing here, find your tabletop. Once you're here, neutral spine, long neck. Inhale, right arm reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, twist underneath your left side. So your right shoulder come down. Once they're down, can they relax? Left arm to the ceiling if you'd like. Maybe left hand binds in your right hip crease. If you're feeling like one more hip opener, inner thigh stretch, a really great option here is to extend your right leg long. You kind of have to come up to find that. And then right arm comes down. And find that same bind. But it's such a beautiful inner thigh stretch. We got one more breath wherever you are. Then unwind, open up back to the ceiling, and then switch. All right, if you want that inner thigh option, you can take it right away this time. Left leg to the side, left arm to the ceiling, and then string everything underneath. Left ear, left shoulder come down. Decide how you want to change it up on this side or do the same thing. And then once you land in that place, take a few breaths. Sometimes the neck likes to get a little crunchy here. Can you relax everything that's touching the floor into the floor? And everything that's not, find a little bit more space. Open that top shoulder. Good. Keep your hips nice and relaxed. One more breath here. And then start to unwind, left hand back to the ceiling. And then left hand down. All right, tuck your toes, lift your hips. We're gonna meet on our backs, but if you would like one more flow, see my guests go through it. When you're ready, if you have a hop through, you can hop through. If not, just bend your knees, look in between your hands. You can step one leg forward and the other. All right, we're gonna come right onto our backs. If you have your blocks, you can bring them with you for some supported bridge. Come all the way down onto your back. Once you're here, feet wide, knees knock in. Use this to try to reset your back to a neutral spine. And notice if there's any tension in your low back, your hips, try to release it here. Slow the breath down. All right. This is your happy place and you want to stay a little bit longer, please stay a little bit longer. We will come into 2 rounds of bridge. So if you've got your blocks and you want to do restorative, you can just stay in that restorative bridge for the whole time. You want to come into an active bridge to start. Walk your feet underneath your hips. Hands come beside your body. Start to peel your hips up. Pause at the top. Make your bridge as big or as small as you need. If you'd like to interlace, you can interlace your hands and then wiggle your shoulders underneath you. Hips should come a little higher. You should feel that nice big heart opening sensation. We've got one breath at the top. Exhale. Slowly lower yourself down. You can windshield wiper your knees once each side. All right, and then your second time, if you want to come into restorative, I'll show you what it looks like. You're just going to pop your hips up, bring your block underneath your hips at any height you want, and then you can just relax on it. It's honestly the best. If you want to come into a second round of active, you can do what we just did, or if a wheel is in your practice, I'll take you through getting into it. So feet start at the same place as your bridge, but hands are going to come beside your ears, palms flip to face the floor, fingertips face your shoulders is what I meant to say. And then you're going to press into your hands, your feet, lift your hips up, press your hands down, come onto the crown of your head, and then straighten the arms, lift the hips, the shoulders. All right, once you're here, you can adjust whatever you need, and then we'll breathe for 3. No matter what shape you're in, think energy, reaching knees forward, hips higher, stretch out through your hip flexors. We have one more breath in. On your exhale, come on down from wherever you were. We'll find those windshield wipers side to side again, just releasing through the hips. Settle back through center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give your back a little massage as you gently rock side to side. All right, release your arms to the side, cross your right leg over top of left, and then knees are gonna fall to the left. Finding your supine twist here. Honestly, whatever version feels like a good idea in this moment. So knees can cross, that'll be a little bit more intense. If you'd like to unwind the legs, you can just stack the knees. If you ever notice that your top knee is kind of floating in space, it doesn't really have anything to rest into, bring your block in between your thighs on any height, and it'll give you something to rest into so you can relax that top hip. That's what we want. All right, once you find your place, just close your eyes. All the effort of today's practice is done. So can you start to shift your energy away from exerting effort? And can you start to let your breath slow down? Let gravity do the work of lowering your knees, your shoulder into this twist. Take one more breath here. See if there's anywhere you can soften. Probably that top right hip. And we'll just make our way over to our other side. Bring your knees back through center. Cross left knee over right. And let the knees fall to the right. Gaze to the left. As I've been blabbing on about this whole class, we are not often exactly balanced side to side, so please change whatever you need on your second side twist to make this top hip happy, your low back happy. Once you find that happy place, close your eyes, really try to just melt into the floor. In these more still, relaxed postures as we finish our practice, I want your whole focus to be on your breath. This is the time where our mind likes to wander off to whatever we're doing next. So I challenge you to stay present in this moment by just focusing on your breath. We've got about 2 more here. Amazing. Bring your legs back through center. Level out through your hips. We're going to come into legs up the wall. That just means your heels reach towards the ceiling. Pause for a second. If you'd like a shoulder stand, you can start to energize through the legs. Point the toes. Lift your hips nice and high. Toes reach to the ceiling. Trying to make your body super, super straight. Keeping your gaze looking up, neck nice and long. If you'd like a plow pose, release your toes towards the mat above you. If your hamstrings are still feeling a little tight here, I love bending my knees. You can make little earmuffs with your knees. Toes can come to the floor, probably a little easier with bent legs. Then if your hips feel really supported, arms can come down. Maybe you interlace them like you did in your bridge pose. Take as long as you want here. When you are ready to come down, do so really, really, really slowly. Letting your bum come down gently. Good. And then settle your body into your final shape, whether that's back in Shavasana, legs long, arms long, flat on your back, or that's any other shape that feels comfortable in your body. Sometimes leg long brings a negative sensation to your low back, so just pay attention if that happens. Feet wide, knees bent, knocked into each other is a great option. Or if you do have your blocks, bringing them underneath your knees is a nice thing to do. And last thing here, I want you Last thing here, if you want one more heart opener, bring your blocks behind you. And bring one the long way, one the short way. And then you can use that to rest your upper body so that your heart is a little bit higher than your hips. Adjusting your blocks so they are comfortable and supportive. And then we'll stay still. Keeping your awareness on your breath. Gift yourself this next full minute to do absolutely nothing other than breathe in stillness in your body. Anytime your mind starts to wander away, bring your awareness back to your breath. If it helps, you can count your inhales and then count down on your exhales up to 3 or 4 or 5. Doing what you need to do. Stay present. Got a few more breaths here. On your next inhale, I want you to acknowledge something that felt really good in your body in our practice today. Allow that gratitude to sink in. Get used to feeling proud of yourself, acknowledging the little wins showing up on our mat. On your next breath, you can start to bring some movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, circle wrists, ankles. Start to wake up. If you're like me, I get real comfy and sleepy in Shavasana, so it takes a little bit to wake up. We will meet seated. You can walk your feet in, roll to one side, or if you're propped up on your blocks, just use your elbows to bring yourself up. We'll finish in a comfortable seated position. Sometimes it helps to have a long spine to sit on a block. Once you get there, bring your hands to your knees. Close your eyes. Sit up a little bit taller. I want you to notice if anything has shifted in your body. Heart a little more open, hips a little more open, breath more connected, more present in this moment. Take an inhale with gratitude for everything your body just did. Allow yourself to fill up and feel good. Exhale, let go of anything you no longer need. Side out, make a sound. Inhale, fill up with gratitude. Exhale, sigh out whatever you don't need. Feels good. All right, bring your hands to heart center. Take one more breath to seal your practice. Beautiful work today. Thank you so, so much for choosing to come onto your mat today, do something so good for your body and mind. I'll see you next time.